Hey guys, I'm making this video to serve two purposes. One, we got a crazy chaotic future to figure out, and two, I gotta do some reformatting on the channel just for the sake of sanity. So, if you've been paying attention recently, you probably noticed that there's been hiccups in the schedule for a variety of reasons. I got sick, there was power outage problems, there was slow internet problems, there was just real-life engagement distraction things, where things just like a series of things that just obstruct time and make it hard to get everything going all the time. And the reason why all of these what should be minor hiccups create big problems for my schedule is because I have very consistently had almost zero video backlog. What I mean by backlog is that normally somebody might record a whole bunch of episodes at once, and then they're like, oh, okay, cool, I got the videos ready for the next 3 days, or something like that. I am very consistently making the videos for the next day. In fact, sometimes I'm making videos the day they go up. In fact, I'm very often making at least 2 videos the day they're supposed to go up before I can even move on to making videos for the next day and stuff like that. And it's not sustainable. Like today, I just went out and had dinner with family, and we went and saw a movie, and that was nice. And then I come home and I'm like, oh, wow, I am not gonna have time to do all the stuff I wanted to do for tomorrow's videos. Like that kind of thing. That's not sustainable, frankly. So I want to downsize my schedule in the long run. Maybe not immediately, but ultimately that's the goal. Because if I make fewer videos per day, then I can create a proper backlog and things can be consistent. And whenever something gets in the way, or even I just go out and have a life, or I get sick, or just anything happens, or if I just want to have a day off, I might have a proper backlog, and then that doesn't create any problems for the channel. I don't have everything set in stone, but my vague goal right now is to try to have like a consistent 6 videos per day instead of like 8 or 9 and stuff like that. I know there's some sane people, some sane normal people in the audience. They're like, only 6 videos a day. Are you like as if I don't know what the word only means, because I'm using only in the context of being a YouTube channel that's talking about uploading 3+ hours of video per day. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's more or less my goal, so that then, because I clearly can produce more content than that per day, because I do all the time, but if I bottleneck myself just a little bit, then this whole thing can be way more sustainable and make more sense. So, there's 2 things I want from you guys, because I am putting together a poll, and I want you guys to vote for things. In relevance to what I just said, I want you guys to vote for which of my current playthroughs interest you the most, and which ones you're watching the most, and stuff like that. Which ones you think I should give priority to. To be clear, this is not a poll that's about canceling any of them. It's more like, stuff that gets lower priority would be on video. Those videos will be going up on days alternating with other games that are low priority, for example, while the high priority games get videos every day. Just as a way of trying to bottleneck the schedule a little bit without canceling anything, just so it can be a little bit more sustainable. Part 2, though, and this is the main reason I started this poll, is I am terrified of the next 30 days of video game releases. I was trying to make a list to even try to figure out what to even consider here, but basically there's just a ton of games or expansions for games that have either just come out or are about to come out. The list I've come together with is For Honor, Dark Souls 3, The Ringed City, Final Fantasy 15, Episode Gladiolus, Halo Wars 2, Hollow Knight, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, Nier Automata, Night in the Woods, Routine, Stories Untold, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, The Walking Dead, New Frontier, Torment, Tides of Numenera, Suikoden 2, Vikings, Wolves of Midgard, and Zero Escape the Nonary games, or Nonary games. Yeah, that's a lot of goddamn games. Some of those came out recently. Some of them are, a lot of them are coming out over the course of the next 3 weeks or so. And if you've been listening to this conversation, or if you even just look at the size of that list, I can't do that. Those are all games that generally fall in the ballpark of things I might play on this channel, but they're all coming out at like the same time, and that is not possible. So I want to hear what you guys are most interested in to help shape things out, basically. Never done this before, don't know how many of you guys are going to respond, but check that link in the description, click on that, vote. You have to be logged into your Google account to vote, but that shouldn't be a big deal because because Google is YouTube and YouTube is Google. It's the same account, so I believe you voting via your YouTube profile. And if you're finding this video via your subscription feed in the first place, you should already be logged in, I believe. So it shouldn't really be a problem. It's more just a way of avoiding people submitting multiple responses. And yes, I know there's ways to work around this. Please, just don't fuck with my data. just vote once and don't try to circumvent it at all. If it looks like it's being corrupted in some way by somebody, I might just throw the whole thing out and just operate blind instead of using this data. So you're only hurting yourselves if you try to mess with this at all. But I could use a little bit of feedback here, because it's very hard to figure out what your audience is interested in until after you're already doing it. And just look, like when you're already making videos, you can be like, oh, that's getting that many views, and that getting that many views, and stuff like that, and you can kind of gauge things. But in advance, it's super hard. You'll get a random comment here and there saying like, oh, you should play this game, and you should play that game, and it's not really a sample size to work with. So please vote for the priority system on the current games, and vote for which future games you would most like to see. And no, this is still not a democracy. This is not the same thing as the Patreon series, by the way. If you're a Patreon supporter, the actual Patreon thing for what I'm going to play after System Shock 2, that will be going up in the beginning of March. It always goes up around. The nominations happen usually on the first day of the month. Voting usually happens on the third day of the month, and the series usually starts on the 5th or 6th day of each month. So that's still coming. That's different, and that is a democracy where the winner wins. This thing that I'm showing you guys here, though, it's just data for me to use, and it's very helpful, and I would love to get it. But that does not automatically mean that first place wins and last place loses, for example. As you might imagine, in particular for the upcoming games, there may be 1 or 2 games there that I'm obviously going to play regardless because of the fact that I've clearly been building up towards their release. So some of that stuff's sort of set in stone. But yes, I could very much use data because I need to figure out what the hell to do with my schedule, because an unfortunate reality of how time works is that I need to learn to say no to some of these things, because I can't. Thanks for watching like always, guys. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your participation, and I'll see you next time.